welcome to Mental Survival, the channel where we talk about the psychological aspects of prepping and survivalism. My name is Cliff Hamrick, and this time around I want to talk about something different. I discovered a game recently. It's not a new game, but it's new to me. I think it's been out for a couple of years. It's called Conflicted. This is, I don't know if you can see that very well. Yeah, it's called Conflicted. I'll put a link in the description below. It's in many ways, it's like the party game that no one ever wants to play. There are cards, series of playing cards, and these are like regular old playing cards too. You can see that this is the king of clubs there. So you can play them just like regular old playing cards, but also written on each one is a scenario of something that happens in the post-apocalyptic world. This is the one I have is the Downfall deck, and I think they have like a series of other decks that they're putting out about different scenarios or different post-apocalyptic situations or whatever. And so what you do is you and your group, you sit around and you pass out these cards, and each person reads the card, and then everyone gives their answer to the card you have, and then you give it to the person whose answer you like the best. And then at the end, whoever got the best answer or who got the most cards wins, so to speak. So like I said, it's a party game no one wants to play because it's all about post-apocalyptic, survival stuff. Reading through these decks, most of this is really more like about moral decisions, value decisions. How do you handle these difficult situations, which is really a lot of what I want this channel to be about, is to get people thinking about the psychological aspects of prepping and survivalism and how to handle these difficult situations, because our modern life doesn't really prepare us for that. Modern life, we don't have to make honest-to-God life and death decisions on a daily basis. We don't have to worry about, is our children going to starve to death, or are we going to die of thirst, or anything else like that. This is not something that modern life prepares us for. So if we ever do find ourselves in these kind of situations, most people are going to be 100% unprepared for these kind of situations. Or if they've even thought about it, it is always in the context of, modern life, and it's very hard for us to get out of this paradigm, to shift our paradigm to think of a world closer to the Middle Ages or even the Stone Age or something like that. By the way, just to point out, this is not a paid advertisement. They haven't paid me. I haven't gotten any money. I didn't even get the deck for free. I bought it when I saw it online. But what I want to do is a little series of videos in which what I do is I pull out one of the cards in the deck and discuss it. And I don't want to so much tell you what you should do. I don't even really want to tell you necessarily my answer, although I might slip into that a little bit. But more of what I want is to look at the background of the question. What should be going through the decision-making process? What do you need to be thinking about in order to think about the answer for this question? That sort of thing. So the card, let's just go with this one. It is the Nine of Clubs. And the card says, a series of asteroids have destroyed the modern world, setting civilization back at least 1,000 years. What are the first three things you would personally do in order to start rebuilding civilization, and why? So there's a few things going on. First of all, it's setting civilization back 1,000 years, so we're talking, it's 2016, so we're talking about 1016. So we're back in the Middle Ages at this point, which I assume what they mean is like there's no infrastructure. Like, not only is there no power, there's like no chance there's ever going to be power. Indoor plumbing is probably not going to happen either, that sort of thing. And then it's also, what are the first three things that you personally would do? So this is also you personally. What would you want to do in order to start rebuilding civilization? So I think some of the things to consider here is, one, it's personal. It's not like what should society do. This is not a God game. This is more of what are you going to do. And so part of it is do you know yourself well enough to know what you can do? what you want to do. What are your skill sets? So first I would ask, do you know what you would want to do personally? Not what somebody else should do, what a carpenter would do, or something else, or a politician. And what's interesting is what that means is because civilization has essentially gone back 1,000 years, whatever role you're playing currently may have nothing to do with your new role in this civilization. Maybe you are a mayor of a city, but in this scenario, what you really shouldn't do is try and be a government official. You should maybe just try and be a carpenter or something. You can let go of your old role and take on a new role, should you so choose. And so part of that is do you want to do that? Do you have the skill set for that? Do you have the motivation for these sort of things? My guess is really the actual answer, the three things that you would do, is almost pointless. I mean, everything that you would do would have an aspect of civilization. Even if all you did was just sit down and start, trying to figure out how to make, inks and dyes and paint and stuff from natural materials and start, painting things on cave walls. Ancient humans did that. Art was an important part of civilization. My guess is music and storytelling and these sort of things were probably also a very important part of civilization. So don't get too caught up in the practical, because I think that's what throws a lot of people off. Because what they're saying is rebuilding civilization, not necessarily rebuilding buildings, but just civilization, which is also culture. It could also be laws. It could also be a lot of things. So I think you want to also kind of think beyond the usual. Well, I'll start a blacksmithing forge and I'll or I'll build a ship and explore the oceans or something. Sometimes it is, I'm going to be the people who kind of keeps people's spirits up by telling funny jokes, and that's a very important piece of that too. Now, of course, to bring it to modern life, is we are all fighting for survival in our own little way too. We are all trying to build a civilization, or maybe not necessarily trying to rebuild a civilization, but every day our civilization gets built a little bit more. And so part of it is you can also ask yourself, what three things are you willing to do right now to build this new civilization? Is there a blog you want to write? Is there a job you want to do? Is there a project you want to do? Is there something new in your life that you actually want to do that maybe you're not doing now that would actually help build a better civilization? Because we don't have to wait for asteroids to destroy the civilization we've got in order to build the civilization that we want. So anyway, thank you. I will try and do this every once in a while, trying to pull out a card to sort of talk about what's going on. And anyway, talk to you later. Bye.